Hello everybody, this is Dr. Neil Goodman, MD. I'm a biohacker with another edition of Nutritional Biohacking to Wellness. I'd like to welcome you to this video presentation where I teach my audience about the benefits of nutrition and nutritional biohacking. My guests learn how they can be healthier and more resilient to illness and aging. The benefits, of course, are having not only a longer lifespan, but also a longer health span. This may be the single most important health presentation of your life. I call it the Biohacker's Guide to Wellness and Aging. I need to make an FDA disclaimer that I do not make claims to treat, cure, or mitigate disease. Hello, my name is Dr. Neil Goodman. I'm a board-certified pediatric and adolescent medicine specialist with over 26 years of experience in treating patients and teaching residents, medical, and nursing students. I'm fellowship trained at the Fitzsimmons Army Medical Center, where I was in the United States Army Medical Corps for 14 years. Prior to that, I received my medical degree at the Medical College of Ohio at Toledo and my bachelor degree in microbiology and immunology at The Ohio State University. I'm a fellow of the American Academy of Pediatrics, a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging in Medicine, and also a member of the Institute of Functional Medicine. And I'd like to thank you for being a part of this presentation. As you may or may not be aware, there are 3 genetic signaling pathways of activation that involve various theories of aging. If you haven't heard of them before, you're going to learn something new that's going to blow your mind. First is the Nrf2 pathway that's involved in the oxidative stress theory of aging. Next is the Nrf1 pathway, which is involved with the mitochondrial theory of aging. And finally, there's the NAD signaling pathway, which is involved in the sirtuin theory of aging. This presentation is going to focus on the Nrf2 pathway and the oxidative stress theory of aging. This is a representation of the oxygen molecule. We have mostly learned that this is necessary for life, but it's not as good as you might think. It has a darker side. Remember that the air that we breathe is actually only 21% oxygen and 78% nitrogen. And to pediatricians and adult pulmonologists, we recognize that too much oxygen is actually toxic and can damage the lungs and damage the eyes. In actuality, our continued daily need for oxygen is part of the reason that our bodies suffer slow, progressive damage that we may not even recognize at first. The reason for this damage comes in the form of radicals. No, not this kind. This kind, free radicals. Millions of them. Free radicals are supercharged oxygen particles that bombard the innards of the cell like shrapnel. They are able to poke small microscopic holes in our cellular material. They are a product of metabolism and occur in response to our environmental exposures to toxins, smoking, UV light, radiation, pollution, and many other sources. The common denominator of these free radicals is the oxygen molecule. We'll just call free radicals the bad guys to keep it simple. So oxygen causes oxidation. You know its effect on metal. Steel rusts and aluminum corrodes. But our bodies are essentially rusting too. but it's occurring in a very slow cumulative way. It manifests itself first as maybe skin wrinkles and then cell damage, later inflammation and dysfunction. It culminates in what we refer to as aging, disease, and ultimately death to our bodies. An analogy is this apple that sits on the counter for a half an hour after taking a bite out of it. It begins to turn brown. It turns brown because of the effect of oxygen-derived free radicals attacking the flesh of the apple. You're seeing in real time, but this is also happening to our bodies, slowly and quietly. I want to ask my viewers who are here, who is taking an antioxidant like vitamin C or vitamin D or eating healthy greens like broccoli or kale? Raise your hands. Congratulations. You are biohackers. Whether you know it or not, you are taking them to counteract the effect of free radicals. You see, the opposite of a free radical is an antioxidant particle. These donate an electron to the free radical that wants to steal it from our cells and essentially neutralizes it and turns it into water. This is the constant battle that's in all of us. So those external foods and supplements are called secondary antioxidants. It's what doctors and health advocates have been suggesting to help us with this battle. They're at the bottom of the pyramid. They're typically vitamins and minerals, and they're weak in comparison to what are on the top. The ones that our bodies were born with and we can make are called primary antioxidants. These antioxidants are many times more powerful and go by the names SOD, or superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase. It's not important to remember these names, just to know that they exist. I like to put a Superman symbol by them because they are the good guys. When we were young, these internal antioxidants were plentiful and could easily deal with the constant onslaught of free radicals that occur in our bodies. But around age 20, because of the cumulative damage that has occurred to our cells, our ability to make them begins to decline. When the amount of free radicals produced exceeds our capacity to neutralize them, that's what we refer to as oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a contributor to the aging process in over 200 to 500 health problems. If you go to PubMed.gov, the NIH literature research website, and type in oxidative stress and any health condition you want, you're going to discover a link between them both in most cases. So oxidative stress can affect all of these different organ systems. My job as a physician has been to treat these different organ systems with drugs or pharmaceuticals in order to reverse various conditions and to improve people's health. But maybe in fact what we should be doing is to reduce the central cause of all of these: free radical damage and oxidative stress. We do that by bringing in Superman to reduce oxidative stress and increase our own cellular production of those three internal antioxidants that I mentioned: SOD, catalase, and glutathione. Now you can take glutathione as an IV, but it's inconvenient and expensive. Oral forms are not stable. The others are not stable, nor are they available to take as a drug. Now, it's important to note that our survival genes have been mapped on our 46 chromosomes. If you look closely at this diagram, you can see 23 pairs of chromosomes. The horizontal lines that are going across are actually genes. These genes code for proteins and enzymes. And in particular, the Nrf2 protein, the Nrf1 protein, and sirtuin proteins have been identified as master regulators of cell protection. We have 23 pairs of chromosomes, but our DNA is not our destiny. That is, we do not have to suffer the lot that has been dealt to us in our genes. Only 20% of our DNA is expressed at any given time. 80% actually lies dormant. It's just waiting for a wake-up call or a signal to turn it back on. This is the exciting science of epigenetics. You can purposely change the way that some of your genes are expressed, and when you do that, that's what we refer to as biohacking. You are using science to turn on your body's systems for something that it already knows what to do. The other option, of course, is just to let your body be hijacked. We're hijacked every single day, physically, emotionally through daily stressors, biochemically through toxins, radiation, allergens, pollution, poor food choices, and so on and so on. But when we biohack, we're optimizing our genetic potential to become the best version of ourselves, and we're using the science of nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics. This is where food influences how our genes behave and are expressed. Remember, food is code, or a signal for our bodies. It's more than just calories and nutrition as you've previously known it. We know that we can activate the Nrf2 protein using cell signaling, which will subsequently increase SOD by a remarkable 34%. We can increase catalase by 54% and increase glutathione by 300% in only 120 days. The net result is that we can actually reduce oxidative stress from free radical damage by 40% in 30 days in essentially everyone who's ever tried to do this. We do this by signaling specific proteins and genes using organic plant-based nutritional products. These studies were performed and are published at PubMed.gov in over 26 peer-reviewed literature articles that were from such prestigious organizations as The Ohio State University, Louisiana State University, University of Colorado Health Sciences, Vanderbilt, Harvard University, and many more. They were independently researched by these organizations without any association with LifeVantage. They've been documented, scientifically proven, over and over. There are 6 international patents and 7 U.S. patents for the LifeVantage company because of this research. So you know this problem all too well. French fries are $1, but try to eat something healthy and it's $6. People are fed by the food industry, which pays no attention to health, and are treated by the health industry, which pays no attention to food. But LifeVantage seeks to change that paradigm through cellular activation using Nrf2 Synergizer, which is found alone or in combination with other activators in the Vitality Stack or the Ultimate Stack. So PROTANDIM NRF2 is one of 3 nutrigenomic activators made by LifeVantage. It's derived from plant sources to signal the Nrf2 pathway in our genes to turn on the production of our primary antioxidants at levels that can't be reached by merely eating antioxidants from plants or pharmaceutically. The patented ingredients and proportions include ashwagandha root, bacopa extract, green tea extract, milk thistle extract, and turmeric extract. Although each of the ingredients may be an antioxidant in their own right, that's not how we're using them here. Look at the bar graphs on the left. They're too weak by themselves. However, in the correct ratios, together and synergistically, they were found to amplify each other greater than their individual components to the tune of 1,800%. That's unbelievable. They do this by turning on the survival genes and activating the Nrf2 pathway in all of your body's 37 trillion cells. In essence, telling your genes to make their own antioxidants to the tune of millions. So normally one antioxidant particle neutralizes one free radical, and then it's done. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. PROTANDIM is able to neutralize 1 million free radicals per second. A 1-to-1 million ratio. You would have to eat 375 oranges or 11 pounds of blueberries. Try doing that in one sitting. 87 glasses of red wine, good luck with that. Or 127 vitamin C tablets, which would probably be toxic, just to equal the neutralizing power of just one PROTANDIM NRF2. I don't know about you, but I want to be on the 1-to-1 million team. This graph shows what oxidative stress levels are from age 20 to 80 during our natural life. This occurs because of the cumulative effects of free radical damage. Now, when PROTANDIM NRF2 is introduced, oxidative stress is reduced down to the level of a 20-year-old in almost everybody who has ever taken it. The p-value for this was 0.001, which is statistically significant. As I said, this was proven in at least 27 different university studies and published at PubMed.gov. That's a 40% reduction in oxidative stress by 30 days, and up to 70% reduction by 4 months. This statement was approved by the FDA. This is a diagram that illustrates how different substances compare to PROTANDIM NRF2. On the lower right corner, we see a graph illustrating the Nrf2 gene induction by sulforaphane, which is the main active principle in broccoli and kale. In the lower left corner is a drug called Tecfidera, or dimethyl fumarate. It costs about $50,000 a year US and is used as a treatment for multiple sclerosis. It's also an Nrf2 activator. In the upper right is a drug called bartoloxone, which did not do well in clinical trials because of a lot of side effects. And in the top left corner is PROTANDIM NRF2. Look at the levels that are attained compared to the drugs. Simply unbelievable, right? I'd like to show this analogy of gene expression as shown by a keyboard. If each of the keys was a gene that was expressed, and each key played a specific note or frequency, we could measure those notes. Now there are over 400 genes that are affected by PROTANDIM NRF2. We've only talked about the 3 primary antioxidant genes, but there are many more other genes. Let's just focus on 63 of the 403 genes. This next illustration shows that these keys play specific notes, and the note frequency shown above as green bars are in a nice, smooth pattern. In 1969, Grandma bought this brand new piano, and it was perfectly in tune. But Grandma put this piano in the attic for 50 years, and now it's not playing so nice. The notes are now up and down. It's not smooth anymore. This piano sounds terrible. It's out of tune. So it's the same with this graph of 63 genes. You can see that the expression of these genes is up and down all over the place. Some of the genes are expressing themselves as too low, and some of the genes are expressing themselves as too high. This is a human whose genes are out of tune, like the piano. After PROTANDIM was introduced, look what happens to the gene frequency. The genes that were too high are now lower, and the ones that were too low are now higher. This gene expression has been tuned. So this is the bigger picture of the 400 plus genes that are affected by PROTANDIM and the gene frequency response under its influence, showing as a nice smooth curve. We were previously only looking at a cone down view of just 63 of them to make a point. In 2015, in response to the research, Washington State University said that we may now be on the verge of new literature on the health effects of Nrf2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Wow, right? You see why I'm so excited to share this? This is mind-blowing. There is currently no other product in the world backed by peer-reviewed scientific proof that does this. So we want to reduce our oxidative stress by 40%. We don't want to take antioxidants, we want to make them. We want to fight free radicals 1 million to 1 in every one of our 37 trillion cells every second of every day. We want to increase our SOD by 34% and increase our catalase by 54% and increase our glutathione by 300% within 120 days. We can now activate over 400 other survival genes besides the 3 internal antioxidants that I spoke about. And we want to help our body detoxify and remove the trash buildup from our years of living back down to the levels of a 20-year-old or lower. By the way, PROTANDIM NRF2 also exists for our pets as pet tandem, since their oxidative stress levels are 7 times ours and they age even faster. PROTANDIM has been shown to extend lifespan by 7% in some mammals, as reported by the National Institutes of Aging, a division of the National Institutes of Health. So realize that you have the power to biohack your body, to use science to improve your body's innate ability to heal and repair itself. You are optimizing your potential using nutritional science or Nutrigenomics. When we signal these genetic pathways in our genetic code, it's essentially like flipping a switch. We do that so that we can feel better and so that we can do more. Thank you for your attention.